Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome to my round 6 review, roundup, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, a goal kicking video came out a couple days ago. If you haven't seen that, there'll be a link for it at the end of the video, so be sure to check that out. It was me attempting the Dan Carter impossible kick after not goal kicking for well over a month and a half. So it was a terrible idea, but still fun to do nonetheless. But, yeah, look, with that out of the way, I guess I'll plug it real quick as well. Again, Discord in the description if that's something you're interested in. If you want to just come in, talk footy with people, post clips of yourself, goal kicking, drop kicking, all that sort of stuff. Link for that down below as well. But yeah, without any further ado, let's jump straight into game 1 of round 6. Knights 20, Roosters 22. Let me quickly get this up real quick. Yeah, look, a game that I won. Not won. A game that I got right. I did think there'd be a few more points in the game, but look, happy with the result. Honestly, really not much to talk about from this game. It was genuinely just a really good game of footy across the board. I'll quickly get the stats up. Actually, before I get the stats up, I just want to say, this man right here, Joseph Manu, how we are letting him go to Union is insane. I know he normally plays centre for the Roosters, obviously, but any team in the competition should be looking at trying to get him as a fullback. Like, he's insane. Like, essentially 350 run meters, nearly 140 post contact. Like, that's incredible. 11 tackle busts. You can sort of see it off to the side over there. Like, 11 tackle busts, line break assist, try assist. Like, he's a freak, man. He's an absolute freak. And for me, he was the difference maker. Like, just the runs he made were insane. Like, none of the Knights players come anywhere close. Like, Bradman Best was all right, but he's still, essentially, not 100, basically 80 meters off Manu, right? Like, Manu was just everywhere. He was involved in everything, right? So, absolutely incredible player. But yeah, look, I'll get to the stats. Honestly, even game of footy. Like, not really many errors or penalties or ruck infringements, so it was a genuine free-flowing game. Obviously, there were a few shoddy decisions, but, there always is in rugby league these days because apparently the referees just aren't trained properly or aren't told to call on certain things, but, that's another thing. But yeah, genuinely nothing really to say about this game. Just a genuine good game of footy that ended as an even contest, right? Obviously, Jenko, 300 games, won't get into that whole debacle about why he wasn't celebrating and all that sort of stuff. That's not something I really want to talk about on this channel. But look, obviously, Jenko, 300 games, like, regardless of what happened off the field, it is a milestone. To play that many games is quite a feat. So congratulations to him. But yeah, look, overall, just a genuinely good game of footy. And first prediction of the video correct. Not scoreline, but team winning at the very least. So we move on. Storm 16, Bulldogs 14. Look, another one I did get correct, but I got the scoreline completely wrong. I thought Storm would steamroll us. Right? I thought they would absolutely destroy us. But obviously they didn't. Don't mind the score on the actual thing. It's bugged out on the website for some reason. Like, you can see it there, 16-14. But yeah, for some reason it's bugged out on the website. But yeah, obviously 2 sim binnings in the game. Sam Hughes deserved, if I remember right, it was a high tackle. And then Pappenhausen was for the hip drop, I think. No, so Pappenhausen was the hip drop, and then I think Sam Hughes came in and pushed him or something. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top, man. But yeah, look, across the board, pretty average game, to be honest. Nothing spectacular, like, 10 errors to 15. Nothing interesting is ever going to happen there. Penalties conceded, barely any. Ruck infringements, 3 to none. So, look, across the board, pretty even game. Look, Storm did what Storm do, and they just, set up shop and didn't let us through. But just as a Dogs fan, I feel like I need to have a little bit of a rant here. Drew Hutchinson cannot play halfback. Right? He just can't do it. Not because he's a bad player or anything like that, but just he's too slow. Right? He's way too slow. I think I said this in either the pre-game or last week's review, but he's too slow for first grade. It's as simple as that. Like, look, he's not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but he is in today's game of rugby league, with the way that it is played, he's too slow to be a half. Because you need your halves running, you need your halves sweeping to get onto the outside, you need your halves... Yep, we're good. All right. You need your halves being agile so they can step back inside and all this sort of stuff. And Drew Hutchinson just is not that. All right, so what I personally would like to see, I want to see Drew Hutchinson either get dropped, just straight up dropped, or I would actually be okay with Hutchinson playing 13. Right? Because regardless of what people say, he has got a good passing game and he has got good vision. Right? His problem is that on those outer edges, he's just way too slow, so he gets shut down way too quickly. So if you get him in the middle of the ruck as that first receiver, just catching and passing the ball early, I don't see a problem with that. I think he'd be a lot better than Salmon as well in that position. So look, I wouldn't mind seeing Hutchinson get a crack of 13 and Sexton comes in at half, but Hutchinson cannot play 7 anymore. He just cannot do it. He's not a halfback. It's as simple as that. But yeah, look, otherwise, Dogs, we shot ourselves in the foot. Just stupid errors when we didn't need to. I'll quickly say about Viliami Kikau as well. I don't know if his fitness is just non-existent, but like he'll have a really good 10-minute stint, and then that's it. That's him done for the game. Like he did it again in this game. He had like 2 or 3 really good runs early on, like tackle breaks, all this sort of stuff, and then he was non-existent for the rest of the game. So I don't know if fitness is the issue. I don't know what it is. But look, this was a game there to be won for the Dogs. But again, I'll quickly bring it up. As you can see, 69% completion rate. You're never winning a game with that, right? So obviously Dogs lost. Storm won. So another prediction I got right, but I should have backed our defense a little bit more when it came to the scoreline that I predicted. But I did know that our attack would be shoddy. Like what I was off on the attack by I think 2 points. So, you know, yeah. Look, Dogs are going to continue to struggle until our attack can sort itself out. But you know, I guess at the very least, in terms of prediction standpoint, another one correct. Not happy about it, but you know, another one correct. And yeah, I guess we move on from there. Broncos 28, Dolphins 14. One that I got right on the money in my prediction video. This is exactly what I said the score would be. And, you know, I got it right. So, awesome on that one. Look, I'll quickly bring the stats up. But the only thing you really need to look at is 2 things. This one right here. 16 and 17 errors. 8 penalties conceded as well. And then, look, 67% completion rate for both teams. It was a crap game to watch. It really was. It was not a good game. It was a crap game. All right, and Broncos literally won because they had, 3 tries from Dolphins drop balls where they ran, 50 plus meters to score. Like I think Reece Walsh's try was essentially from their 10-meter line. Cobbo picked it up off a drop ball, I think, and ran the field like once or twice. Corey Oates obviously had one disallowed for doing the same thing, but then he got his one later on. Yeah, look, honestly, really not much to say about this game. Just a scrappy game of football. Yeah, look, so as a neutral, boring to watch. Neither team really built anything because the moment they'd start to build something, they'd drop it or they'd lose it or just something. So as a neutral, very boring game to watch. But from a prediction standpoint, I guess, very happy that I got this one right on the nose. So yeah, that's 3 correct at the moment now. And I guess we move on to the next one. Warriors 22, Sea Eagles 22. All right, the first one I got wrong in this video because obviously I thought Warriors would win, but obviously it was a draw. Look, I'll bring the stats up for you, but the stats don't really matter in this game, if I'm honest. It was a very even game, like you can see, 50% possession, very equal completion rates, similar run meters, similar offloading, stuff like that. Kicking, pretty much the same. Defense, very similar. All right, errors and stuff like that, relatively similar. All right. The big thing out of this game was the Sean Johnson penalty goal in the last minute, was it? Last minute? Let me quickly have a look at when it happened. I think it was last minute. Yeah, in the 79th minute. Look, I think it was a penalty purely because he came at him from the side, right? So it was just contact with the leg, right? I know that a lot of people have been saying it shouldn't have been a penalty, like it's a contact sport, accidents are going to happen, rah, 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 stuff like that. I get that. But the thing for me is that it was from the side. So Sean Johnson's kicking straight this way. I think it was Alot, was it? Comes across this way. As soon as Johnson kicks, the leg is out because it's a drop kick. So obviously the leg swings forward. Alot has only made contact with the leg. Only made contact with the leg. If he'd come across and hit Johnson's body and then they'd fallen down together or something and it was given a penalty, then I would have an issue with it. But because it was purely... Sorry, I just got a little timer thing on me. But yeah, purely because it was a just leg contact, I do think it was a penalty. Now, with that said though, I think Joey talks about it in like one of his after game shows or whatever he's on, where he says that it's important to protect the halves but still understand that it's a contact sport. And I agree. Obviously, once you've passed the ball, once you've kicked, your body has relaxed. So, you can't be getting hit off the ball, essentially, right? But there needs to be a little bit of common sense in it, right? Like, Alot, I think it was Alot that did it. He was clearly going for a charge down, right? So, like, there was no malice in it or anything. Like, he wasn't going out there to try hurt Sean Johnson or anything like that. But it, like, accidents happen. Now, if it was the other defender that did it, I don't know who it was. Two people ran him. So, let's say, I'm pretty sure it was Alot. Let me quickly double check it. Was it Alot? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Alot. It might not have been. It might have been Paseka. I don't remember who it was. But whoever it was, if they hadn't made contact, for example, and the other person that was coming from front on did, would it still be a penalty? That's the thing. Like, because, at the end of the day, when you're going for a charge down, there is the potential that you are going to make contact with the kicker, right? Like, that's just a fact of life. It's again, I understand player safety. I understand all that, but it is a contact sport, right? Like, there is a reason these players get paid as much as they do, and that's because they run the risk of getting hurt, right? Like, it's not like a daytime job where, you're making your 80 to 100,000 a year, right? Where you can just sit at your desk and do your job all day, right? Like, these guys are getting paid 300, 400K a year because there is the risk that they get injured and there's longevity in that risk, right? That's why they earn so much that they do, right? So I think there needs to be a bit of a wind back on the reactivity of the NRL when it comes to injuries and stuff like that. Like, that's the thing, like, one person gets injured for one little thing, the NRL immediately jumps on it and says, no, we need to stamp it out of the game. Even if it was a complete accident, like no malice in it, nothing. NRL goes, no, need to stamp it out. It was the same with the crusher tackles, same with the hip drops, right? Same with the wrestling in the ruck. And now it's this, when a player kicks, right? If NRL wants to deal with this stuff, they need to deal with it at the start and not after something has already happened, all right? Get that little rant out of the way. But yeah, look, overall, game-wise, really good game. Even game across the board as the stats showed. But yeah, I think a draw was the fair result. And again, I've said this before, I don't understand why a game, if it ends as a draw after 80 minutes, why we have to play any sort of extra time at all, be that golden point or golden try. I think if two teams are tied at the end of 80 minutes, they both deserve a point. Like, we don't have to have a winner in the regular season. But again, that's just me. But yeah, look, obviously got this prediction wrong because it was a draw. So, first one wrong for the week, and I guess we move on from there. Eels 27, Cowboys 20. Quickly, please ignore the lighting change. It's currently 6 o'clock at night now. I got called into work, so I had to cut the recording short, and now we're back. So anyway, look, another one I got wrong. I thought Cowboys would win this game, and honestly, it was a pretty even game across the board. I'll quickly get the stats up there. Look, completion rate 72% for both. Run meters pretty much identical. 13 meters difference in run meters. Post contact, line breaks. Like, it was a pretty much identical game. Para's second phase play, as usual, was very big for them. Tackle efficiency, negative play, pretty much identical. Right. So this game literally was just a case of Para were clinical, Cowboys were not. It's pretty much as simple as that. There was another. What was it? I think it was a penalty on Arcee. Is it Arcee? I think if I remember right, there was a penalty on him for a thing as well, similar to the Sean Johnson one. Again, I said my thoughts on that in the last one, so I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, look, honestly, there's really not much to say about this game. It was genuinely just a case of Parramatta were clinical and Cowboys weren't. So yeah, pretty short one here. Nothing to talk about. Nice to see Parramatta get a win without Moses. Look, obviously I'm a dog supporter, but as a dog supporter, I like to have a competitive Eels because, you want your rivalry games to be competitive. So good to see Eels playing well without Moses. So look, hopefully only up for them from here. And Cowboys, the yo-yo that is the Cowboys continues. They're good one week, bad the next. This was, I think I said it in the prediction video, that this was their first big test. That they weren't versing like a lower half side, and look what happened, they lost. So still some growing to do for the Cowboys, but look, they've definitely got the talent to be a top 8 side. So if they can just sort of learn how to compete with the big boys, I guess, and learn how to attack against a stronger defense, there's no reason they can't go a long way. But yeah, look, I guess in the end, routine win for the Eels, just more clinical, more composed on the ball, and that got them the win. So yeah, look, another one I got wrong, and let's move on to the next one. Rabbitohs 22, Sharks 34. Look, another one I got right. I did think the score would be a little bit different, but I was relatively close, so I'm quite happy with that. Look, I'll start with the Sharks just to get them out of the way. Ronaldo Mulitalo, incredible. He had one of the best individual performances of the year so far. He was absolutely fantastic. And again, this game was genuinely just a case of Sharks were more clinical than the Rabbitohs. So Sharks do what they usually do, move the ball around, score points, defend hard. All right, so routine game for the Sharks, and it got them the win, obviously. But we'll move on to the Rabbitohs. And the main thing I want to talk about with the Rabbitohs, I'll quickly bring it up here. Look, stats-wise, again, pretty even. It was, like I said, it was just a case of not only Sharks being more clinical, but I think the Sharks also not having as many. I think there was a point where the Rabbitohs only had one person on the bench because of HIAs and all that sort of stuff. So, like, look, for the Rabbitohs to be in the game as long as they did, that was fantastic. But it's this part right here. All right, and there's two people I really want to look at. Actually, one really, and that is this man right here, Tom Burgess. Right, he was a man on a mission, and he was a man that was on a mission for the club. Right, you could tell that he wanted this more than anyone. Right, obviously Jack Whiten had more run meters, but he also had like a couple line breaks. I think not line breaks. Sorry, he had a couple of like decent runs where he got the ball early and he could move a bit to get like a 20-meter run before he got tackled and stuff like that. So obviously your backs are normally going to be the ones that get more runs, like run meters. But yeah, Burgess was just a man on a mission, right? What is it, 51 post-contact meters or something like that? I don't know. No, not 51. Yeah, 58, sorry. 58 post-contact meters, yeah. He was a man on a mission, and he is the sort of guy that the Rabbitohs need to be focusing on, right? Like, forget your Latrell Mitchells, forget your Cody Walkers, right? Players like Tom Burgess, obviously Cam Murray went off injured, so you can't really talk about his stats too much. But yeah, players like them that will just put their body on the line for the club is what you need, right? Again, on the weekend, I think I talked about it in the prediction one. I think Cody Walker was average. I think he was useless. Like, I'm pretty sure statistically wise, he didn't even get a try assist or anything like that. Yeah, no try assist, nothing. Like, just average, right? I don't understand why he's apparently just like I don't understand how he's just like a protected species at the Rabbitohs. Like, he has not been good all season. He wasn't even good last season. And honestly, the young fella, Jai Gray, he looked really good. Rabbitohs having a fullback that actually works every tackle in attack was dangerous. It was scary. Right? So, worries for Latrell maybe when he comes back. Like if he's not willing to put in that effort and try and be involved as much as he can, they've got this young fella coming through that's more than willing to be doing that. So yeah, positive signs for the Rabbitohs. Again, the Cody Walker stuff, I could talk about that all day because it just pisses me off. But look, at the end of the day, routine win for the Sharks. They just were more clinical than the Rabbitohs, despite Rabbitohs having quite a few injuries. But yeah, end of the day, Sharks were just the more clinical side on the day, and that's why they got the win. But yeah, another prediction right. So I think so far I've only got 2 wrong. And yeah, we will move on to the next 2 games. Tigers 12, Dragons 24. Look, I'll be honest, I missed this game. I was at OzTag training, so I didn't see this game. But just looking through the stats, I'll just bring them up. But yeah, just judging by the stats, it looks like it was a very even game. And again, it looks like it was just a case of Dragons were probably just more clinical in the attacking third, if I had to guess. Again, I haven't seen the game. I've watched the highlights, but obviously I didn't see the full game, so I can't make a judgment call on the full game. With that said, when it comes to the highlights, where is he? How this man right here, David Klemmer, did not get sin-binned or anything like that, as far as I'm aware, I don't think he got sin-binned, is beyond me. I think he got put on report twice for 2 horrendous tackles where if it was anyone else, they'd probably get binned. Like, watching them back, I think one was just a completely careless swinging arm straight to the face of someone, and then the other one was something similar, like around the throat or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, like, how Klemmer was not, at the very least, sin-binned is insane. Right? And so I'm going to use this part here, this game, I guess, to talk about the referees a little bit. And that there is zero consistency. Right? Like, so those challenges that David Klemmer had done, if that was Victor Radley, he's gone for 4 weeks. Instantly. Like, done. Gone. So the lack of consistency is ridiculous, especially this week where it seemed that the referees were being extremely harsh on penalties, where they were looking to call things as quick as possible. So, yeah, look, how Klemmer didn't get sin-binned at the very least, I don't think he got sin-binned. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Should be down the end here, I think. Errors, handling errors. Yeah, sin-bins on report. Yeah, see, so he got on report twice, no sin-bin or anything. How he didn't get binned is beyond me. I don't understand it. It's ridiculous. Right? Just watching them back, like, they were trademark minimum sin bin challenges and nothing. Right? I don't know if it's because it's the Tigers and so the refs are like, look, they need as much help as they can get or whatever it was. But he should have been binned, and it is a point of reference now to the consistency of the refereeing in the NRL. Right? Some games, apparently, things are a sin bin. Apparently, in other games, they're not. So, that's the reason fans are getting so frustrated with the NRL. Right? Everyone understands referees make mistakes. Everyone understands that. Everyone gets that. I don't think anyone would get the shits if, like, a referee misses a knock on, like, you know, misses a 6 again, or just something like that. Just misses it and the play goes on. No one would care. Right? But things like this, where it is just a blatant, you should be in the bin, that's how it's been all season, he's got to go. He has to go there. So the fact that he hasn't, it now sets a precedent where, let's say next week, or, you know, the upcoming week, another challenge like that happens again. Does the person get binned? They should. But then you can just say, oh, how come my player got binned, but last week Klemmer didn't? You know, like Dom Young, perfect example, against the Dogs. Cracked Taff, like what, on the side of the face or whatever it was. Instant send-off, not even a sin bin. He got sent off instantly, but Klemmer got nothing. So there needs to be a level of consistency there. But yeah, again, didn't watch the game, so I can't really talk about the game specifically. But yeah, just refereeing in general needs a complete overhaul in my opinion. But look, I guess results-wise, another one I got right, so happy with that. But yeah, on to the last game of the round. Raiders 21, Titans 20. Look, another one I got right, and I just want to say I'm very happy that my prediction, if you will, was correct. Right? Like, if you go online, a lot of people were expecting Raiders to absolutely pump the Titans. I thought it would be a close game because Raiders always seem to struggle in games where they should dominate. So, yeah, look, very happy with that. Look, again, I'll be honest. I didn't watch this game because I was at OzTag training. All right, I was there pretty much all night from like 4:30 till essentially 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So by the time I got home, it was pretty much final 5 minutes ready for extra time, right? So look, I can't really speak on the game too much. By the looks of it, just by the stats, I'll quickly bring them up. Again, just by the stats, it looks like a game where Raiders were just nowhere near as clinical as they should have been, right? Like almost 10, obviously more than 10% more possession, like 12 minutes more time on the ball, better completion rate, way more runs, 600 more run meters, 300 more post-contact meters, more tackle breaks, right? Everything looks to have been in the Raiders' favour, and it seems as though they just couldn't execute their attacks. It's as simple as that, right? So, I mean, expected from the Raiders, they always seem to do that. As I said in the prediction video, they always seem to just choke in games where they should absolutely dominate. But, look, Titans, by the looks of it, played well. I'll quickly go through the player stats. I went through them before, but it looks like everyone sort of just really put in the effort, did their job. Where was it? It's here. Right, yeah, looks like everyone sort of did their job. I will say for the Titans, I know that Brimson played fullback and Campbell played 5'8", I believe. I think that's how it needs to stay for them. Brimson, like I said it in the prediction video, I believe. Brimson is the sort of guy where you need to get the ball in his hands, and he doesn't get the ball enough out at centre. It's as simple as that. He needs to be playing fullback, and Jaden Campbell needs to be in the halves, in my opinion, for Titans fans. I have a couple of Titans fans, and both of them were sort of agreeing with me, but their main thing was they were just happy that Tanner Boyd wasn't playing. So, But yeah, looks like a really good game. Just again from the Raiders standpoint, this guy right here, Ethan Strange, like that run that he did in extra time to set up the game-winning field goal, incredible. Like he was in the middle of the field, treated it like under 10s. He just ran to the left, ran around the sideline, ran 60 meters or whatever it was. Like incredible stuff. He is going to be a superstar in the future. But yeah, look, another one I got right. The main thing I'm happy about with this one is how close the game was, like I thought it would be. I'm very happy I actually sort of predicted that right, I guess. But yeah, another one right. So can't be too upset with that one. All right. And with that, that is my week 6 review. All right. Again, the last 2 games I was at OzTag training, so I couldn't watch them. So unfortunately, I can't really give a proper review on them. But yeah, look, how many did I get right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 right this week. Happy with that. Better than last week where I got 5 and the week before where I got 5. So small improvements. Right. But yeah, look, that's the round 6 review. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the games this week. Let me know who you thought was going to win, who you thought was going to lose, all that sort of stuff. Like anything like that. Let me know what you thought about the games, like what you think about the refereeing, like the Sean Johnson decision, especially. That's a big one from this week. The David Clemmer stuff. Let me know how you feel about all that in the comments below, not the description. Jesus Christ. But yeah, look, predictions for round 7 will probably be out again, probably Friday night. So I'll probably miss the first game. Well, I'll watch the first game, but I'll do the predictions before I watch the first game, so I'm not cheating or anything like that. I usually record them while watching the first game. So yeah, look, that'll probably be out Friday. I have a day off on Wednesday, so hopefully I can get to the fields, record some more outfield stuff for you guys to put some stuff up. But yeah, look, until the next one, I guess then, guys, have a good one. Take it easy.